So, sorry guys for that, especially the Facebook, YouTube guys. The question is this. We've been here for 3 days or 4 days, 4 days. Do you think you've learned one or two things about order? Yes. Because all these days, we've been talking mainly, Gideon, welcome. We've been talking mainly about order. Do you think you are at least better off than when you came here? Yes. And you know something now, and the importance of order. And some of you have lived your whole life and you've never learned so much about order. And I think even right now, you might be the only people in the world that know as much as you know about order. Because I've never seen any subject, any book or any teaching that has broken it down so thoroughly like this. So you are largely fortunate. But maybe it's time to round it up. Maybe it's time to finish the order topic right now. Is it over? Do you think you got enough? Or you don't know? Because I just want to tell you that if going by what I prepared, then if we finish this one we are going into now, this class, that will just be half of the topics I've prepared for you. So we are not even halfway yet. Do you want me to continue? That's the question. Yes, you still want to know more? Yes, are you really sure? Yes, then put on the light. Yeah, put that up, right. Here we go.
The pains of lack of law and order.
The pains of lack of law and order. Or the pain. Yeah. Oh, okay. It's a sock. That was previously. Never know garage. No, what me say it? Yeah, garage was. Yeah, but okay, so there is pain in lack of law and order. Pain in disorder. Pain in chaotic situation. When there is lack of law and order, pain is inevitable. Pain reigns and rules where there is lack of order. Pain is persistent where there is lack of order. Now, everybody hates pain. But pain is a consequence and a result of lack of order. So, there is pain in order as well. There is also pain in order. But the pain of disorder is much more greater than the pain of order. For example, there is pain in you having to stop by the red light all the time. But the pain of being knocked down by the car, believe me, is greater than the pain of just waiting a few minutes by the red light. Sure. There is pain in observing speed limit because you want to go faster. Yeah, a degree of pain. But believe me, if you remove that pain or that limit and you crash, the pain of death or the pain of accident is much more greater. So when I talk about the pain in lack of law and order, it's always greater. So whenever there is lack of law and order, the pain there is always excruciating, is always perpetual, is always more damaging than whatsoever pain it will cost you to put order in place. So the pain of order is nothing. It's almost like not having any pain compared to the pain of the absence of order. Therefore, The reason for pain, the primary reason for pain in anything, in any area of life, therefore, is the absence of order. When I suffer financially, it's because order has been distorted. When I suffer health-wise, it's because order has been distorted. When I suffer socially, it's because order has been distorted. When I suffer pain in any area of life, order has been distorted one way or the other, on one place or the other. Any pain is as a result of disorder. So let's say, for example, you discover that you don't have a child or you can't have a child. Instead of going to be looking for deliverance and going from church to church, look for something that is not in order. Something is gone out of order. Something in your system is not according to order. That is why that pain is there. When there is strife and disagreement in your family, it's because some order has been violated. Pain is always a sign of disorder. Now you tell me, is Nigeria a land of pain or not? Right now. Is that country a land of pain or not? Or a land of bliss? Is Africa a continent of pain or a continent of pleasure? Pain. Yeah, you know the answer. Pain. Pain. So according to what I'm teaching you now, if the continent and the nation is a land of pain, what would therefore be a major core reason for that pain? Lack of order. Now, somebody will say, it's ignorance. Yes. But ignorance of what? Ignorance of what is out of order. Ignorance comes second. It is when something is out of order that you need to know or you don't know about it. When you know about it, then you can fix it. But why do you need to fix something that is not out of order? Pain, therefore, is a consequence and a result of lack of order. That goes a long way to say that if we could put order in most of our life engagements, lifestyle, mode of life, life in every area of life, if we could secure and maintain order, we would have minimized the amount of pain in our society to the bare minimum. So you cannot underestimate order. There is no way for you to assess the importance of order. Who knows that that people in Nigeria always complain about lack of electricity? Who is aware of that? So what is that? Lack of order. Who knows that everybody in Nigeria is always complaining about not enough money? That is also a result of lack of order in finances. But then when you tell them to read, they don't like to read. That is also lack of order. So show me any pain anywhere, and I will show you where order has been violated. So the topic of order that we have been discussing with you all this week, if you really take your time and do solitude and study again and read again and listen again and go over and over again and think widely about these things, This topic alone can make you one of the most dangerous people on earth in terms of one of the most knowledgeable person on earth, one of the wisest people on earth. Let's take medicine. You all were here a few days ago when I think it was Dr. Success said that if you will put order in people's health, that up to 80% of the sicknesses and diseases will be eliminated. And even somebody else, I think it was Dr. Anu, that says, even any sickness whatsoever is because order has been disrupted. It's lack of order, is disorder in the functioning of the human body. That is the explanation of sickness. And I think Denise also confirmed the same thing, that anytime there is sickness, disease, something has gone out of order. That's why you are sick. Order. Engineering is about order. Mathematics is about order. Medicine is about order. Social science is about order. Politics is about order. Biology is about order. Chemistry is about order. So life is about order. Now you can understand why even Genesis chapter 1 is about order. And God could not create without the principle of order. God himself couldn't. So when you read in the Bible and the Bible says God is a God of order, take it serious. It's not as simple as that. But today, I want to rather talk about the pain of lack of order, or the pains of lack of order. Because the reason why most people don't put order in place, and they don't value order, and they don't go for order, is because it is painstaking. It's a painstaking process to put order in place. Yes, but the difference is that order is painful, but it's only 2 grams of pain, while the pain of disorder is 2 tons of pain. Compare the two and choose which one you go for. It's always painful to make order, but it's even thousands of times more painful to endure lack of order. So, welcome to the topic for tonight, the pains of absence of order or lack of order, or the pains of disorder. Here we go, gentlemen. I know. Why are you hissing? As if you are getting some deep revelation. Let's hear him out. Well, let's hear your emotions. Put on the light for him so that we will see his face. The man is loaded sometimes because those his revelations, they are helpful.
You know, your introduction, while you were talking, it was as though I was receiving. I don't know how to express it, but that's why I made that deep breath.
Medical infusion.
Yeah. So like
pharmaceutical infusion in your body.
You were putting something, and it was as though something was coming, and I just had to take that deep breath, because the gravity of law and order the more you talk about it, the more clear and the more vivid it is in my mind, the way I'm seeing it. And maybe because I had a personal experience as to what's the pain of law and order,
of lack
of law and order can do. So, and you made that statement, you said it before you even thought, when you were with my mom. And you were like, this is not witches or anybody that killed him, but it is Nigeria, the lack of order. So people don't understand how important this is actually. Because
tell them about your experience.
So what happened was, I think it was 2016, on a Sunday morning, everyone was happy to go to church. My dad, my mom, everyone went to church. So they got to church, and my dad is a pastor, and he noticed that some people were not in church. So it was like, okay, everyone, let's just go out and reach out, and let's get to meet our members that are not around. So he was in the church, and then everybody went out
For outreach.
for outreach. So the same with my brother, my younger brother. So I think like 1 hour into the outreach, someone ran to my dad. Daddy, 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 daddy. Ife, 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 Ife. That's my younger brother's name. So my dad was like, why are you calling his name like that? What's happening? They were shouting blood, 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 blood. So my dad left the church and he ran to the site. And then he said, he got to the site and he saw his son in cold blood, just filled with blood. What happened? Now, this was not an express road. This was maybe just a 2-lane road, just one small road in our area, that a young guy who was maybe less than 20 was driving recklessly. And then my brother was about to cross the road, and bam, he got hit by the car. And as he got hit by the car, immediately he had skull fractures, and it affected some of his spines. So what happened? They rushed him to the hospital. So as a matter of fact, he became unconscious right after the hit. Long story short, I lost my brother, or we lost him. And one would think that was probably some, like the religious belief, that was like maybe an attack, or someone who is doing, or someone was attacking from maybe the father's side or mother's side. But then, I remember my mom came to Ukraine and we visited Pastor Sunday, and then we were talking about it, and he made a statement and he said, it is the system in Nigeria, the lack of order.
It is in response to your mom's statement.
Yes.
That there were prophets saying that other people were going to die and you have only one left,
Yeah.
and be careful because he should not talk, he should watch out because enemies have already taken one. And that was the second
That was my second brother that was gone.
that was gone.
Yeah.
A year before that,
Now, like
a few years
a
before
few years
that,
before that,
another brother has been lost. And now the second one. So look at the mother. Everybody say, okay, we have some prophets, Woli, who have said this and said that. Oh, so I was saying, hey, forget about prophet right now. Forget about demons and principalities. What demon? This is not demon. That demon, that car, demon doesn't have anything to do with it. It is signage that has something to do with it. Speed limit that has something to do with it. It is order that has something to do with it. But it's a very difficult truth to tell a Nigerian mother, especially if they are religious. But she was kind enough to listen. Normally, if not because she was kind enough to listen, I would not have said it, even though I know better. But I was able to share a little bit with her. But I couldn't go into the details. But now you are seeing, because I didn't go into all the...
Yeah. So, the pain of lack of order and law is really excruciating. And if Nigeria would understand just this topic, and that was the reason why I took a deep breath, and that's the consequence of several things that were going through my mind, and I was like, if people understand what it actually means, the real pains, then they would clamor for law and order in everything they do. So that was the reason for my breath.
Have you heard of stories of pregnant women dying? People being brought to the hospital and not being catered for? Everybody is thinking it's because of poverty. I think you know better now.
Definitely.
Huh? So how will you assess those kind of situations happening in Nigeria all every day? Nigeria hospitals.
Just my elder brother that also died. It was because of lack of order in the hospital, because he had appendicitis, And then, no.
I mean, people don't die of appendicitis anymore.
Come on. That's like the easiest operation to do. Appendectomy. Even an intern can perform that. That's just something small. There shouldn't even be infection.
You don't even need a surgeon for that, right? Even a regular general doctor can do that. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And lack of order. I remember my dad told me the story that it was, man, it's just crazy. I don't even think about it because.
So everything is connected to order. The pain of lack of order. I don't know if people are watching right now or people are not watching, but if anybody is watching right now, I will advise everybody to go and share this message. I will advise people to go share this message. Because this is going to bring a lot of understanding and liberty to a lot of people. Thank you. The whole country is suffering just for this simple understanding. Can you get, I don't even get our government to talk about all that, things like that. They are only talking about some economic statistics figure. When these are the fundamentals of the society.
Lack of law and order leads to captivity and dependency in life and society.
The society is held in captive, hostage. The society that lacks order is held in captivity, in hostage. And they are in perpetual dependency. Let's have a look at the first one, the first video here. Can you put on the volume?
Fatima is 4 years old and has lead poisoning. She's among more than 1,000 children from Bagega
Can it be louder?
who regularly come to this rural clinic for treatment. Her mother, Karima, has lost 2 children already.
Fatima has seizures and is running a fever. Every time it gets worse. Memories of my two dead children come back to me, and I'm afraid of losing Fatima as well. All of my 5 children have similar symptoms.
Bagega and the surrounding villages sit on huge gold reserves. In the rush to extract the metal, unskilled miners came home wearing clothing contaminated with lead, which polluted entire households. It took government authorities 3 years to act. A U.S. company cleaned up the lead in homes. That eliminated the risk of more contamination and allowed for the treatment of infected children to begin. So far, the aid group Doctors Without Borders, or Médecins Sans Frontières, has successfully treated 1,600 children in 8 villages.
Hundreds of children are not as lucky. The village of Bagega lost about 200. Now life here is getting back to normal after the cleanup. Doctors from Médecins Sans Frontières are now faced with the huge task of treating more than 1,000 cases.
The aid agency helping some of the poisoned children is warning that the problem is bigger than originally thought.
There are more villages in this area affected. And MSF has not the capacities to take care of all villages. There are 30 villages identified in which MSF is not working, which are suffering from lead poisoning.
Treatment for these children is expensive and takes time. Doctors say it could take up to 5 years of visits, medication, and laboratory testing. For Karima and other mothers, the discovery of gold in their communities is a curse. Their only concern now is nursing their children back to health. But with so much activity at the gold mines, there is a good chance that the situation will only get worse. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Bagega.
Do we need to repeat something? Let's repeat it again. Let's repeat it again. So let me explain to you what's happening here. Can you believe it? A community found and discovered gold. Now, part of extracting gold is it lead or lead? Lead. Is lead. Okay. Now, lead could be poisonous. It's always poisonous. Okay. What do you say, Paul? Yeah. So it's always poisonous. So, but the workers, when they were extracting the lead, they don't even know it's poisonous. They're just looking at gold, illiteracy, and lack of order because they don't have license to mine the gold. Or even if they have the license, they are unskilled laborers. Lack of order. So they are the husbands of all these children, of all these wives, and the fathers of all this. They go to work and come back to their families all over the area. And all of them are having 3, 4, 5 children, bringing back the poison of lead. And the children are playing with their fathers and things like that. That's how over thousands of children, and people are dying. Over, is it 100 or so? Huh? 200 children have died. They don't. The whole country is not even aware that things like that is going on. It has to take Swiss or foreign European people to notice that people are dying in Nigeria. Nigerians are not even aware. Order. Because no registration, no information, no. They are just saying people are dying, people are dying. So those people are coming to say, why are children always dying here? And they are the one fixing it as if there is no government in the whole country whatsoever. Now let's look at the film again. And you think it's a Nigerian TV something that is covering it?
Fatima is 4 years old.
No way.
And has lead poisoning. She's among more than 1,000 children from Bagega who regularly come to this rural clinic for treatment. Her mother, Karima, has lost 2 children already.
Fatima has seizures and is running a fever. Every time it gets worse. Memories of my 2 dead children come back to me, and I'm afraid of losing Fatima as well. All of my 5 children have similar symptoms.
Bagega and the surrounding villages sit on huge gold reserves. In the rush to extract the metal, unskilled miners came home wearing clothing contaminated with lead, which polluted entire households. It took government authorities 3 years to act. A U.S. company cleaned up the lead in homes. That eliminated the risk of more contamination and allowed for the treatment of infected children to begin. So far, the aid group Doctors Without Borders, or Médecins Sans Frontières, has successfully treated 1,600 children in 8 villages.
Hundreds of children are not as lucky. The village of Bagega lost about 200. Now life here is getting back to normal after the cleanup. Doctors from Médecins Sans Frontières are now faced with the huge task of treating more than 1,000 cases.
The aid agency helping some of the poisoned children is warning that the problem is bigger than originally thought.
There are more villages in this area affected, and MSF has not the capacities to take care of all villages. There are 30 villages identified in which MSF is not working, which are suffering from lead poisoning.
Treatment for these children is expensive and takes time. Doctors say it could take up to 5 years of visits, medication, and laboratory testing. For Karima and other mothers, the discovery of gold in their communities is a curse. Their only concern now is nursing their children back to health. But with so much activity at the gold mines, there is a good chance that the situation will only get worse. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Bagega.
So you think the problem is poverty? You want to say something?
Well, this is...
Put on the light. This is just a typical example of disorder.
This is a typical example of what you said, that blessing becomes a curse when there is no order.
Yeah.
Because these people, they are on gold mines. They are on what is most treasured.
Sitting on gold.
Sitting on gold. But because of lack of order,
the gold has become a curse.
has become a curse.
Lack of order alone.
People are dying.
Only lack of order.
So this is just
Blessings become
curses.
curses because of lack of order.
Typical example.
2 children, that little girl, the woman herself is a little girl, lost 2 children. The third one was about to die.
But even though it seems like it shows that they've been mining, but looking at the village,
The poverty there.
what is the
benefit of the mine?
benefit of mining that?
Because they are paying them chicken change or
Yes.
just
It doesn't look even like it's even contributing to
to
the
anything there. Because there is no order that the percentage of the whatever they are making from there must go to develop the area. No order. And they are illegal miners. And what are they using the money for? Please, take the mic.